You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted best of Pahrump for 4 years. Give them a call, 775-727-9900. News 25 is also brought to you by Gunny's Air Conditioning and Heating. New, service, and repair. Call Gunny's, 775-727-6800.
Hello and welcome to this edition of News 25. I'm Unette Gentry. Thanks for joining us on Ace Country Radio, and we're also streaming at KPVM.TV. We're also on your Roku devices. It is Tuesday, August 26th. In our top story, an overnight crash closes part of Highway 160 between Las Vegas and Pahrump. Now investigators are looking into whether that wrong-way driving played a role in the motorcycle accident.
Jason Ernest of Mount West Lawyers. Don't be bullied by insurance companies. Call me, 775-727-9500.
A motorcyclist is dead after a suspected wrong-way crash early Tuesday morning on Highway 160, about 15 miles southeast of Pahrump. Nevada State Police say it happened just after midnight near mile marker 28. Investigators believe the rider was heading south in the northbound lane when he collided with an SUV. The motorcyclist, an adult man, was pronounced dead at the scene. The SUV driver suffered only minor injuries and did not need to be taken to the hospital. Northbound lanes of the highway were shut down for several hours during the investigation, but reopened just before 6:30 a.m., according to the RTC of Southern Nevada.
And suspended California plates lead to an arrest after officers discover items inside a suspicious duffel bag.
On August 22nd, a blue vehicle was conducted to a traffic stop for displaying expired California license plates. The driver was identified as Benjamin Sari. Upon contact, Mr. Sari was unable to provide a valid driver's license, vehicle registration, or proof of insurance. When asked if there were any firearms in the vehicle, Mr. Sari stated that there were firearm parts inside a green duffel bag located in the back seat. A thorough search of the bag revealed a homemade silencer. When presented with the item, Mr. Sari admitted he had attempted to use it, but stated it had malfunctioned. Mr. Sari was placed under arrest and transported to the Pahrump Detention Center. His charges are as followed: possession of a silencer, driving with a suspended driver's license, driving without insurance, operating a vehicle with a suspended registration.
And this morning here in Pahrump at the Bob Roode Community Center, Shadow Mountain Quilters present Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue with Quilts of Valor that were started on 9/11 back in 2001.
Chris Palermo from News 25 here in Pahrump. We're down at the Bob Roode Center. It is overcast outside, but it's a cheerful message inside here at the Bob Roode Center. And we are with the Shadow Mountain Quilters. We have an amazing event coming up, which Fire Chief Scott Lewis will be receiving quite an honor. I would like to turn to the folks here that are bringing the attention to this. Welcome to News 25, and thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
And you are?
I am Marilyn Herbert, and we are thrilled to be giving these out today. They are quilts that were made for 9/11. And they've been sitting around for 23 years waiting to be presented, and today we present them.
That is amazing, and we're going to get back to you in a second. You were telling us about the fabric and such, and you are?
I'm Janet Blethen. I'm a member of Shadow Mountain Quilters.
Okay. So tell us about your impression of what's going to happen here, what we're going to present to Chief Scott Lewis.
Okay, these quilts were started out as blocks, that people around the world making the blocks. Then they were all mailed together and then redivided to make the quilts. And a young lady came to us last year, and she could not finish her share of them. Okay. So she asked me and Marilyn if we would finish them and distribute them in our community.
All right, so Marilyn, you were telling us, and you're actually feeling it out here and saying that they've been floating around. When you said floating around, what did you mean by that?
Means they should have been given out 23 years ago.
Okay.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So they're very, very special to be able to give them out now.
And so we would like to present these quilts that were started on 9/11 and got lost, and we refound them, finished them, and we would like to present them to our first responders, the 9-county fire department. And thank them and respect them and be grateful towards them, and God bless America. Thank you.
So I'm Captain Rosen for On Fire. We'd just like to say thank you for all the support that we get from not only you quilters, but also our community. We really appreciate it. We all love our jobs, and we appreciate that you guys think of us, and thank you.
You're welcome.
Go Aces go! The Las Vegas Aces are on a winning 11-game WNBA basketball streak. All that and more when News 25 returns.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, in today's health news, is too much screen time taking a toll on your skin? It's actually a thing, and Cleveland Clinic dermatologists say that it's possible because the light that our devices give off actually does affect our skin.
Today's health report is brought to you by Desert View Hospital. When you or a loved one needs medical attention, Desert View Hospital is ready to help. We've been providing friendly and compassionate care to our neighbors since 2006, including emergency services available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Visit desertviewhospital.com to learn more. With limited exceptions, physicians are not employees or agents of this hospital.
Not so much in the realm of like causing skin cancer, but it can accelerate aging by degrading like our collagen and elastin. We also know that this light can promote melanin production, so maybe darker skin types can be prone to like hyperpigmentation.
Dr. Kitterpaul says devices like phones, tablets, TVs, and even certain light fixtures can emit a type of visible light called blue light. While the sun's rays are much more harmful, hours of daily screen time may contribute to skin changes. That's because being exposed to blue light over time can potentially lead to things like fine lines and dark spots. So how do you protect your skin from blue light? Dr. Caterpaul suggests a sunscreen with iron oxide.
The iron oxide or tinted sunscreens are the only ones that are going to be effective against this visible light. If you're using just a white-based sunscreen, it almost inevitably does not have iron oxide in it, so check the inactive ingredients.
And Valley Electric's substations serve as critical hubs in the regional power grid here and around Pahrump. These facilities are responsible for stepping down high voltage electricity received from transmission lines to a lower voltage that's suitable for distribution throughout the cooperative's service territory. And so we go behind the scenes now in part one of this two-part series with Valley Electric's substation crew.
This segment of News 25 is brought to you by Valley Electric and its family of companies focused on serving our members. We're better together.
Substation is necessary in a power system for distribution of power and transforming voltages, the higher voltages. Here we have higher voltages because of the distances, and also they increase voltages for depending on load and things like that. CTs is a current transformer, so that just transforms current into a measurable amount. The current out on the system is really high, and we need to have the CTs here to reduce that current So these relays can measure that. So if there's a fault anywhere, these are designed to eliminate the fault as quick as possible. So milliseconds, they'll open up breakers and isolate over 100 kV, so 100,000 volts. All that equipment in a substation, we're required to test and make sure that's operating as it should. We have our transformers out there, our circuit breakers out there. We were talking about the CTs a little bit and the PTs. So the current transformers and the potential transformers come into these, and they're actually connected to that. So that's how they monitor the current flow, and when there's an overcurrent or anything like that due to a fault, whether it's lightning or something happening on the line, whatever that is. But that's what those are connected to.
So behind me we have circuit breakers, and they're protection for the line and the transformer. And if they detect a fault, they'll open, so that way the fault is isolated. At Trout, we're installing the racks and relays, and it's all pertaining to the upgrade. We'll go to Fish Lake, Sandy, Sloan Canyon up in Boulder City, and all the other substations. Right? In substations, you should always be cautious and worried about what you could touch and everything like that, because there's a lot of things in the substation that could be dangerous.
Go Aces, go! The WNBA two-time champs Las Vegas Aces clinch a playoff spot due to their current winning streak. Mikey Ruhan has all that and more in sports.
Time now for your News 25 look at sports, and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices. The Las Vegas Aviators kick off a 6-game homestand against the Iowa Cubs this evening, and yes, they still play baseball, not just serve as backup mascots for the Chicago Cubs. The Aviators are looking ahead to 2026 because it's never too early to plan for 150 games of baseball and exactly 150 servings of overpriced nachos. The team just dropped their 2026 schedule, 75 games at home and 75 on the road. Meanwhile, the Las Vegas Aces continue to do what they do best, win. Jackie Young dropped 22 points and handed out 7 assists like free samples at Costco. Asia Wilson added 18 points and 9 rebounds. Asia Wilson added 18 points and 9 rebounds because, well, she's Asia Wilson. The Aces beat the Chicago Sky 79-74 and officially clinched a playoff spot.
That's 11 wins in a row.
And finally, guess who's back? Back again. Amari Cooper is reportedly returning to the Las Vegas Raiders on a 1-year deal. Cooper, a former first-round pick, left town a few years ago, but like any good Vegas ex, he just couldn't stay away. The deal's worth $3.5 million, but with bonuses, it could hit $6 million. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
We have a very special guest in studio today on this National Dog Day. All that and more right after this break.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Pappy, come here. Yay! It is National Dog Day today, and we have in studio Pappy, Mikey Ruhan's dog, and Pappy stands for Pumpkin Angel Face. She's one of the cutest canines in town, and we asked you viewers out there on Facebook to share your photos of your furry friends. So thanks to KPVM viewers like you, National Dog Day honorees are up next.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Let's take a look outside through our Lerner and Rowe weather cam at these storm clouds rolling through the area. There are scattered showers and some flood warnings out there between Nye County and Clark County. A closer look in weather after this break.
Weather is sponsored by the Nevada Dairy Farmers and the Dairy Council of Nevada, sharing the love of all things dairy. Celebrate the best moments with milk. Milk the moment. And the weather is also brought to you by the Ponderosa Dairy, Nevada's largest dairy, fresh from our farm to your table.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. I'm Mike Ruhan from the Channel 25 Weather Studios. Let's check out the temperatures today. Not too bad in Fernley, 81 degrees, 84 in Fallon. Carson City saw 78 degrees, that's nice. Tonopah and Goldfield twinning, 75 degrees, 87 in Beatty, 93 in Amargosa. Las Vegas also saw 87 degrees, 103 in Death Valley. Let's check out our current temperature. That is 89 degrees, we hit 91 earlier, winds out of the south at 7 miles per hour. Humidity 34%, and the sun rose this morning at 6:11. It's going to go away this evening at 7:19 p.m. Humidity goes up to 51%, and my hair is going to look a mess. Winds out of the east 10 miles per hour. 70 is going to be our low tonight. Let's check out the 7-day forecast. Not too bad on Wednesday, 95 degrees. Thursday, 94. Friday, 96, and we're creeping back up into the hundreds. See that? Saturday, 100. Sunday, 102. I just won't go outside that day. 100 on Monday, and on Tuesday, my favorite band, 98 degrees. Back to the desk. Here's Jeanette.
Thanks so much, Mikey. And please be careful out there on the roadways during those intermittent storms. And be careful because those roads are slick, even with just a little bit of precipitation. Well, that does it for this edition of News 25. I'm Jeanette Gentry, and from all of us here at KPVM and Days Country Radio, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the air next newscast. Good night.